Good, great, and grand day to you, loves. My name is Josie, for those of you who don't know, and I just woke up. Okay? So forgive me for the voice changes. Okay, so today I want to talk about the Schumann resonance, the energy of the planet, the energy that we are engulfed in. Okay, because I'm having people get hospitalized right now. Like there's people literally going to the hospital. Okay, there's people sick as a dog right now. Um and I want to break some things down to you. Okay, because I know that my beautiful 3D folk out there, no matter how much scientific evidence you give them, they're gonna be like, nah, this is normal. Oh, okay. So the first group of people that I want to address are those of you who are literally like dying, okay? Um and I mean, like, you don't just feel like you dying. You actually have like physical evidence that some things are going on in your body, right? I want to explain to you something. If you have had a chronic illness or some kind of chronic anything going on with you, what this energy is doing is it's making it worse. It's accelerating the normal process in which that chronic whatever situation you got going on would progress. Okay? It is accelerating it. So when you go to the doctor, they'll tell you, oh, you got worse, or this got worse, or we got to do surgery and blah, blah, blah. But I'm trying to explain to you that this energy is very detoxing, clarifying, okay? So it can make your illnesses that you already had worse, okay? With the healing process, a lot of times it gets ugly or it gets worse before it gets better. And for this particular group of people where you are experiencing the worst, just like when you take antibiotics, just like when you take and have an infection, sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. The problem is a lot of people don't get to the better part because they're so sick and they're already so far gone. Okay, they were already bad before it got worse, and when it got worse, they were done. I mean, this is the reality of it. A lot of people are not making it to the better part. Okay, I'm gonna just put that out there right now. But some of you are making it to the better part, and that's great. After literally going through hell. So that's what that looks like. This energy basically is telling you, be done with it. You cannot have this chronic issue in this new energy. That's what it's telling you. So it's going to progress it and get it out. It's going to do things to try to get it out. Again, there's that detox energy. And what I want to tell you guys with the chronic issues is that if you, in this situation usually happens when you're not trying to help yourself in a natural way. If you're just taking the pills, still doing the things that caused the issue in the first place, these are those people I'm talking about. You're just running to the doctor every time something comes up, taking the pills, but you're not actually making the life changes. That chronic group is what I'm talking about, okay? You have got to make the life changes in order to assist and not have such a horrible, time. And in order to make those life changes, loves, you have got to learn to trust and use your intuition and listen. Start speaking to your body, because all of us are individuals. All of us need different things at different times. Okay? So you have to start to really get down to the bottom of, what does my vessel require? What do I need? Me. Okay? Cut out the chatter. Get down into meditation and really get with yourself, because you do not want the worst. And if you're hard-headed and you got to survive the worst, after you survive the worst, believe me, your mind will change on making them life changes. Because half of y'all, them life changes are going to be made for you. Now you're going to be under doctors. Now you're going to be under doctors' orders to make these life changes. And sometimes, that's just how it has to be, because a lot of us are still listening to an authority outside of us. The expert. The expert that's practicing. Let me just put that there, okay? We're all practicing. They're all practices. But you want to listen to the expert. You want to wait until the expert tell you to make the life changes. And some of y'all, because I've been there, I ain't pointing no fingers. I'm telling you, because I have been through the worst before I made the life changes. And even when the expert was telling me certain stuff, I was, spiteful and mean and just sarcastic, because I wasn't ready to heal yet. You know what I mean? But yeah, for that beautiful chronic group of people who are not really making life changes, just taking the pill, just going to the doctor, you are going to continue to go through stuff. This energy is not going to give us breaks anymore. It is here. And we're supposed to be adapting. We're supposed to be learning how to function in this new energy. Okay? On all levels, not just physical, emotional, mental, all of that. Oh man. So that is for my first group of people. For my second group of people that I want to address is the people that are attempting to make the life changes. You're in between, you know what I mean? You haven't gotten all the way there, but at least you're trying. You may have days where you feel like you're dying, but you're not dying. But you feel like it, and that's okay. Okay? This video is not medical advice. First of all, there's my disclaimer. Okay? I'm not a medical professional, and so on. Do you? But for my second group of people that are trying to make the life changes, you still feel like you're dying and whatnot. If you are concerned about any symptoms you're having, I'ma always tell you, go get checked out. Go to the doctor first. But if they don't freaking find nothing, okay? If they can't tell you, if they cannot diagnose you, that should be where you take your authority. Okay? Because what doctors like to do is they like to, oh, we don't know what's wrong with you, but we're going to treat the symptoms. So here, take these pills. In that moment, you get to decide whether you want to give your authority to them and just take the damn medicine, or or you can take the authority yourself and use food and natural remedies for your medicine. If they don't know what's going on and they just want to treat the symptoms, you might as well do it. That's just the way I see things. Okay? There are some situations where you have an infection and you need antibiotics. They just can't figure out which ones. That's a different situation. I ain't talking about that. Anyways, and for my second group of people, you may want to go back to your old way of life. Even after you've made life changes, you may have an urge to go backwards. That's totally normal. And that's okay. Because it's going to be very temporary. I've learned along this path, and I've observed even with other people, that you can't go backwards. You're not compatible no more. So you could try it. I'm daring you to try to go backwards, but it ain't gonna stick. You know what I mean? Because you've become sensitive. Perfect example. One time I got a really bad migraine because I went backwards. Okay. I had like a whole bunch of like chocolate, and I don't even know what kind, if I had like regular ice cream at the time, because this was a few years ago. All I know is that it caused me to have a migraine. Okay. This was right before I went vegan. And I went to the hospital. Okay. I went to the hospital because there was nothing, it came on too fast and too hard. I had not gone to the hospital for the migraine cocktail in a while. So when they gave it to me, I actually had a worse experience than I had with the damn migraine. I didn't know whether I was breathing. I didn't know whether the medication was way too strong. But before, I used to get that migraine cocktail all the damn time, like since I was a teenager. You know what I mean? And I vowed never to go back again because I had become that sensitive to like pain medication and stuff. So it was crazy. So yeah, that's for my people in the middle who are trying to make their life changes, but you're not all the way there yet, right? I mean, nobody's really all the way there, but you're not out of the woods in the sense that you just started making the changes and you hadn't fully detoxed what you needed to detox in order for the energy to integrate without you having some kind of crisis. Okay? Now, the third group of beautiful souls that I want to talk about is the group that I'm in, the light worker group that has been making these changes and continues to make these changes and has some level of what do you call it, some level of clarity within their vessel, their physical vessel, their mental body, their emotional body. We've done some cleaning, right? We've gotten rid of some things and we've made space for these new energies. That does not mean that we won't have days where we feel just like everybody else that pretty much feels like they're dying. The difference is we may not end up in the hospital. The difference is we may not end up having to even go to the doctor's office. We know what to do with ourselves. We know how to treat our symptoms. We know what to do. You know what I mean? And then even if we don't know what to do, we are able to lean on each other and go to other healers, light workers to help us. That is what we do. Like, that's where we turn when we are in crisis. Our first thought is not to go backwards. You know what I mean? There has to be some kind of emergency for us to go backwards. For light workers, you get more of those days like I got yesterday, and I'm looking at the chart from today and I'm seeing why I felt like I felt yesterday. And a lot of this is because of beautiful Jupiter rubbing elbows with the galactic center right now, blowing energy out of proportion. Okay, just so y'all know. And it's showing on the planet, most definitely. But I felt like we get a lot of paranormal experiences when we don't have the energy hitting blockages in our body or our emotional body or our mental body. We start to have very, very blissful experiences, which can still cause problems when you need to function in the 3D reality. You cannot be walking around here feeling like a ghost and still needing to drive and go to work and stuff like that. So the problems kind of look different because, our abilities are coming online. We got telepathy coming online, our clairs, and, our freaking physical vessels seems like it's trying to disappear. You know what I mean? So it's a whole nother box. So, group 1 and 2, look forward to that, because it's a whole nother box of struggle. When it comes to these energies hitting us, we may not be, having to physically go through a lot of stuff, but we may still be purging from our emotional body, or we may be still purging from our mental body. And again, when these abilities come online, you got to figure out how to function. We may have instances, group 3 may have instances where we're falling a lot, or we forget our body is there completely. You know what I mean? And again, if you're having these symptoms, always go to the doctor, get checked out first, so they can tell you they don't know what the hell wrong, everything look normal, right? And then you could figure out which thing you want to do. Do you want to go hug a tree? Do you want to go lay on the ground? Do you want to get whatever crystals you need? Do you want to take whatever herbs? Do you want to go to whatever healer? Then you decide what action you want to take as a multidimensional being in awareness, right? You got all of these tools to bring you comfort. Do you just want to be in meditation, work with your guides, get guidance straight from there? Because the last time I was feeling a little rough, my guides literally had me eat a whole bell pepper like an apple, and it literally brought my energy back up in 10 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so stubborn, right? So this is all you as the individual. You have got to be connected. You have got to really release the things you need to release so that you don't have to suffer, because it really is a choice. You got to start seeing pain differently too. We were trained to believe that pain is a signal that something is wrong in the body, right? But if you think about it that way, then you're always going to be in anxiety every time you feel any kind of pain. So for me, I've tried to switch over to seeing pain as energy that is stuck, that needs to be moved, transmuted, dissipated, whatnot, right? So if I have pain, I'm going to not firstly think, oh my God, something's wrong, unless I obviously injured myself, of course. You know what I mean? the first thing I'm going to do is think energetically. Where is it? How can I move it? And if that doesn't work, then I'll actually think, okay, maybe something's wrong. You know what I mean? But don't immediately go into fight or flight, because you'll make it worse. You'll just grow whatever energy's there. You make it worse. Um but yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. I said something to my kids, or I may have been talking to somebody else. I don't even remember. But I said something yesterday that I'm actually trying to recall because it relates to this video. I'm trying to recall that. I hope my finger haven't been under this thing like this whole time. Y'all can hear me. With these energies coming into this planet, I want y'all to understand in general, no matter where you are on your path, it is not just, oh, we're changing as a human race. No, the planet is changing, therefore we have to change. See, we like to think we in charge of nature. No. Nature is going to do what it does. And if the planet is changing and moving, we have to adapt. We have to evolve, because this is our home. You know what I mean? If your air conditioner decides that all of a sudden it wants to break, are you going to sell your house, or are you going to open some windows and get your life together until the dang AC company comes and fix your air conditioner? Or are you going to just go and live somewhere else temporarily until the AC company comes to fix your air? You know what I mean? You're not going to sell your house. You're going to make adjustments for the temporary situation. And that's what you need to do now. You know, your home is changing, your environment is changing, therefore your body has to change with it. It has to make these adjustments. So this is a temporary time that we're in as a human race. And you know I'm talking about divine timing. Okay? It's temporary because something is happening. You're going from one thing to another. You're not going to always be evolving like this. Okay? You're going from point A to point B. There is a point where, you know, the planet is going to level out, plateau for a little bit. It's just not right now. Right now, we're all going through these changes, and these energies are going to get stronger and stronger. They're already sustained. I try not to post so many pictures of the little graph with the Schumann resonance, because it's going to be like that. You know, like, there's going to be plenty of these pictures to post because the energy is sustained. Okay? We hardly get any type of break now. In 2020, so many of us have been trying to tell y'all about 2020. Oh my God. These energies, you think they're tough now. They're going to be more tough in 2020. So it's very important that you know what your body needs, and your needs will change. Okay, sometimes you'll need more vitamins. Sometimes you'll need more minerals. You know, your physical body is changing too. And you got to support it. I tell everybody, because this energy is coming from the sun, and I'm not talking about the sun you see, I'm talking about the central sun that our sun filters. Okay, we for the longest we've been getting filtered energy, but what's happening is that we're starting to get, like, the filter is starting to get broke down, and we're getting the energy like heavier now. So it's kind of like going from having a filter to not having a filter, getting that potency. So what you need to do in order to merge with the energy, is to be the energy. I know that sounds weird. You know how they tell you, oh, if you want to manifest something, you have to become that thing you want to manifest. Um, in order to evolve and get used to this energy, just like when you condition yourself to run a 5K, what do you do if you want to run a long distance? Like, how do you prepare for that? You run a lot. You know what I mean? You have to run in order to be able to run. So when it comes to the energy coming from the central sun, you've got to condition yourself to be in that energy all the time by going out and sunbathing, by eating the sun. See, the plants and the photosynthesis and all this and that, it's like they harness the sun energy, okay? And the plants have evolved. Like, this is why so many people are farming and things like that, because the plants went through and are going through a transformation just like we are. So when we eat the plants, we gain the new information that way as well. We call it eating the sun. So you're bathing in the sun, you're eating the sun, you're sun gazing. That's a big deal because you're conditioning yourself to be in the new energy. Okay? That's why we're preaching, drink water, eat plants, sunbathe, get the sun as much as you possibly can because you're conditioning, okay, for the marathon. That's how that's working. And unfortunately, a lot of people, you know, are not making it, not gonna make it because they are not trying to make the life changes and they're not making it past the worst part to get to the better part. And that's okay. It wasn't for them. It was they chose to this point and beyond to stay, in the old energies. You can't do nothing about that. Okay? You can't do anything about that. Don't try to do anything about people doing what they need to do as far as themselves are concerned. All you can do is be the example. You know, people ask us all the time, how are you happy? How do you harness so much joy? You know what I mean? How are you looking healthy, and how are they want to ask all of these things, but honey, it ain't nothing you done bought out the store or seen on the TV. It's us conditioning ourselves with the solar energy, with this new ascension energy where we've been conditioning ourselves. That's what we've been doing. You know what I mean? It's not something I can just tell you, oh yeah, girl, I've been using this. You know what I mean? We've been eating the sun. We've been bathing in it. Hey, Kels, we have been, meditating, connecting with our guides, following guidance. That's what we've been doing. And that's why we carry this light, this joy. You know what I mean? I think it's so funny, side note, because I'm salty about it a little bit. Tis the season, right? Tis the season for everybody to believe heavily in their beliefs. you know, One day I had somebody ask me how I was so happy and so bright and all this and that, but at the same time questioned if I believed in God. And I'm like, how can you, you know, because of what I feel like God is, God is love, God is freaking everything love represents, you know what I mean? So, like, how can you ask that question after saying what you just said? It insinuates that people that believe in God are supposed to be miserable. You know what I mean? Like like it's some kind of magic trick. outside of God. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing something else to harness this energy. It trips me out, but I have to have compassion. Oh man. Anyway, that was my 2-second rant. But yeah, I'm trying to help y'all because you don't have to suffer. I still go through days where I have a pain here or there, or I'm super tired, or something like that. I get irritable, but it is nothing like my early days. It is nothing like me freaking out, adding to the situation, being in anxiety, and really just proportion. It's not. But I still have my days just like everybody. This is why I share my symptoms on Facebook. Anybody feeling like this today? Like that? Because I want you to know you're not alone. We're all in this together, and we're here to support each other. Um, and it's all good. You know, everybody gonna be okay. Even if they leave, if they physically leave the planet, they are okay. Okay? Everybody's okay. Everything, even this evolution is natural. It's a natural process. Okay? Um, but yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about. So please don't add to the drama out there when you encounter people that are sick and just going through it. Just be there to give them. Okay. There we go. Be there for them to give them what they need, but don't be miserable with them. Okay? The art of detachment is really needed right now. You got to detach. You can be compassionate and you can be supportive, but please don't try to relate. Don't relate. That's what gets you in trouble. Okay? No more swapping misery stories. But I love y'all, and I'm gonna let you go because I've been talking your head off, and I need to get up and move around because otherwise I'd be lazy this morning. So I'll talk to you later. Have a beautiful day, and yeah, shine on.